Hey guys, so today's video is something a little different for me. It's a tag, it's the Truthful YouTuber Tag, and I'm pretty honest all the time, so let's do it. First question. Have you ever received a product, tried it, didn't like it, and then decided not to review it? Yes. That happens actually pretty regularly, I think. I'm forgetting most of them, but I can think of one product right now that I did that for. I'm very careful about what PR I accept in the first place. I don't have that many followers or subscribers, but I get a lot of brands reaching out for whatever reason. And most of them are very small indie brands. Most of them are skincare and they have like essential oils and a lot of fragrance that wouldn't work for me. But sometimes brands do send products I'm really interested in and they don't work out. One thing I can think of that I haven't made up my mind about yet is the Say Really Great Gloss. They sent those over and I was hoping to do a review of them. But I just genuinely haven't been able to make my mind up about them. One day I love them and I think they're amazing. The next day I think they're completely unremarkable. So still making my mind up about that product. If you want a review, I'm happy to do it. But yeah, sometimes it's more so it's not necessarily products that I don't like, but products that I just like can't figure out. So I just give them a little bit more time. Okay, number 2, product you use alone, but don't show us online. So many products. I have like old ass Clinique products and Lancome products that are just so old, like a bunch of different MAC products, brushes from 10 years ago, so many different things. And I think what I'm going to do is possibly film a makeup collection overview video this weekend, and that way you'll see everything that I use all the time and you will know everything that I own. Number 3, do you delete comments? No. Number 4, do you block people? Yes, I've blocked people on Instagram, more so from my personal account, but a few people on my beauty account at State of Kait too. I'm pretty outspoken about fighting for inclusivity in beauty, and a lot of times what comes with that are people who are just super racist, who just don't get it, and they will just come into my DMs or come into my comments. They'll comment on every picture that I've ever posted, harassing me, that kind of thing. Those people I will block. Otherwise, I am more than happy to engage in dialogue and conflict, and it's not something I shy away from. But yeah, sometimes you have to protect your mental health, and that means blocking people. Number 5, have you ever lied about a product to stay on good terms with the brand? No. I feel like I'm actually quite the opposite. I feel like I'm actually much more critical with the brand. And sometimes I worry that I come across as a little bit too abrasive and brands don't want to work with me. I'm okay with that, but definitely never said that a product was amazing when I didn't like it. Number 6, have you ever initially liked a product when you reviewed it, but changed your mind and didn't update your audience? Yes. One thing that comes to mind is the pharmacy honey grail oil. Don't get me wrong, like I love that stuff, but when I stopped using it, I noticed that that was the product that was breaking me out. And it was featured in my skincare video as like one of my favorite oils. But yeah, when I stopped using it, my skin cleared up. So I don't use it anymore. Next up, who's an influencer you don't trust? Pretty much any of the really large ones, like anyone with over 1 million followers, I just don't trust. I don't. But also, the bigger YouTubers who are like beauty gurus, they have a totally different makeup style than I have. I'm pretty minimalist. I don't do glam looks. I don't use lashes. I don't use contour. I don't do anything with my hair. I'm just like, I have such a different approach than any of those bigger YouTubers. And I also don't like the sort of like sassy, in your face, super dramatic personalities. So I pretty much don't like any huge YouTubers. The one person I can think of who has a lot of subscribers is Raw Beauty Christie, and I do trust her. Number 8, who's an influencer you trust the most? Probably Mariah Leonard. I would say she's probably my favorite YouTuber of all time. I wish she could post every day and it would make me so happy. I think she's incredible. But I'm not going to bore you talking about her because I'm sure you already know her. Another person I wholeheartedly trust is Hannah Louise Poston, and she is an amazing YouTuber. She has more of a conscious consumerism style approach on her channel, And I just love the way that she talks about products and the way that she interacts with her products. So I wholeheartedly trust her, and I wholeheartedly trust all of my friends as well. Number 9, do you have secret tips or a product application you don't show on camera? No, because I don't think I even really ever talk about application. I'm always just like chatting about something else. Number 10, have you ever showed one product but you were actually using another? No, that's dumb as shit. 11, have you ever not disclosed a sponsorship? No, I've only been sponsored once, and it was my skincare video, and Bold and Bear sponsored it. Number 12, have you ever had a bad interaction with a brand? Hell yes, I have. I feel like most of them are bad. Recently, I've had some good interactions, and it was refreshing. Let's talk about them. Let's go into it. Drunk Elephant is definitely one that is awful in every single way. That was more so interactions in the comments, because they were just actively going through and deleting comments of people asking them to support the Black Lives Matter movement. And I'm not cool when brands delete any type of critical feedback. I mean, that's censorship, and I think that's awful. So I don't support Drunk Elephant anymore. There have been so many other instances like this. For example, RMS. RMS had posted on their Instagram, what was it? Oh, I remember. So when George Floyd was murdered, a lot of people were asking RMS to support the Black Lives Matter movement and come out with a statement of support. And they kept DMing people these snarky responses saying, you know, it was a weekend and they were like, oh, we didn't realize that support had a time limit. Like, we'll be back in the office on Monday. Something really snarky. You know, I've worked in sales and business development my whole career. I have a corporate job. It's really easy to respond to those comments very kindly and with good customer service. I think that was the PR agency that was doing it, because Good Molecules also has the same PR agency, and they were saying the exact same thing to consumers. But a lot of times the actual founder of RMS, Rosemary Swift, is the one responding to comments on their social media. So I'm not sure who it was. But then a Black content creator, who I believe was also an editor for like Teen Vogue or some cool stylish magazine, put out on her Instagram that she was no longer going to support RMS because of that awful statement saying like, oh, we didn't know that support had an expiration date. And then immediately, as soon as she posted that and said that, you know, I'm never going to feature RMS in the magazine again, RMS immediately put out their Black Lives Matter statement. It was all very disingenuous, inauthentic, very performative. So I'm not supporting RMS anymore. And I was, you know, commenting with them as well. And so that was a bad interaction. Also, there are brands who are just really awful and want you to do so much work and not get paid. They're like, okay, so we want this video, this Instagram post, this on your stories, blah, 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 all these deliverables, and we're gonna send you a free Q-tip. There was this brand just last week, Ana Luisa Jewelry, or Ana Luisa New York. They offered to sponsor my video, which means pay me for my work. We go back and forth for 3 weeks talking about the deliverables. They asked me to send my YouTube demographics. I send it over. I ask about the rate. And then they're like, oh, we don't have it in the budget. So we communicate for 3 weeks about sponsored content. And then once I ask about my rate, they say, no budget. What that tells me is they were just trying to get my attention with the word sponsored and hope that I didn't know that that meant paid. They were just trying to sort of get me interested. And then once they offered a free piece of jewelry, they thought I would just be like so excited and so happy to get that earring or whatever. But no, it's not okay. I mean, we know that sponsored content is an ad. It's something that we're paid for. And I went off on them. I was super pissed about it. I mean, I had been talking with them for 3 weeks and I was really excited because I want to make money and I was happy to work with them. And yeah, I told them my honest feedback and they never responded. So Ana Luisa, Drunk Elephant, definitely thumbs down. But the biggest, worst interaction with the brand was Han Cosmetics. I don't even know where to start with this one because it's so insane. Han Cosmetics came out with this line of tinted moisturizers and there was like one dark shade and 4 light medium shades. It was just not cool. And basically, I had commented on their post, said something like, hey, this is a really disappointing shade range. Would have loved to see deeper shades. Like, this really isn't inclusive. And it just unleashed this like bomb from Han Cosmetics. They got so defensive. The founder herself kept commenting on the thread, just writing a whole line of defense of like, well, zinc is too hard to formulate with for deeper skin tones, and we don't have enough money to create these darker shades, and we've been developing this for 2 years already, blah, 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 blah. Everything that she said defensively about why there weren't deep shades in their launch, I could come up with an argument. And that's the problem. And what ended up happening, I obviously shared all of that on my social media, and they went so far as to block me for basically, and I was saying throughout all of this, I'm a huge fan. I loved Han Cosmetics products. They've been on my channel multiple times because I loved their blushes. Still to this day, they make the best blush colors and I can't find replacements. But I can't use them anymore because seeing their products makes me so angry. So yeah, if you're a brand and you're deleting comments, if you're offering to sponsor videos and then saying you don't have the budget because you think that you're tricking us, or if you're a brand who's going so far as to get the founder to respond to comments and then blocking people, it's not okay. I mean, these brands are behaving really unprofessionally, and that's why I have no problem speaking out against them. 13, have you ever agreed with another influencer's thoughts on a particular product? Yeah, that's a dumb question. Obviously, I agree with people all the time. Number 14 is the last one. What's something that other creators do that gets on your nerves? I have a lot. Definitely when they talk about inclusivity and they talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. And here's the thing. I wouldn't judge anyone or any of my friends if they worked with a brand that wasn't fully inclusive. Like, most brands aren't fully inclusive. They're usually problematic in some way, shape, or form. The difference is that I think it's important to have conversations with those brands if you are someone who's vocal about inclusivity. People are just really so afraid of conflict. I know a lot of creators I talk with feel the same way that I do, but they're just afraid, and they want to be really likable. They don't want to hurt their chances of not getting sponsored or getting PR. And a lot of other creators are worried that if they voice their opinion down the line, it's going to come back to hurt them. And maybe I'm just being naive, but I just personally believe that integrity is more important than that. But I also recognize that I'm in a privileged position of being able to afford my beauty habit on my own without any PR. Another thing that drives me nuts about influencers is that just like everybody posting the same flat lay shots on Instagram, I'm just like so bored of it. It's the same like beigey product shots, water shots, flat lay shots on a bed with a candle. Yeah, I'm just over it. I would really love something else. Something else that drives me nuts about influencers is when they will share on their stories posts that people have shared of their posts. So it's like someone shares their post and then they just reshare that shared post. And it's like the same story of their same post over and over and over again. Oh, that one's annoying. It's like, yeah, I get it. I saw that post. I don't need to see like 10 more of that exact same post on your stories. Stop doing that. Don't do that. Okay, honestly, there's a lot that bothers me about influencers, so I'm just gonna keep rolling with it. Another thing that I don't like is when people don't say that something's PR. There's this one person I'm thinking of in particular that like always gets these huge PR packages and she never says PR. Okay, I think that's enough ranting for one day. So I hope that was like enjoyable, informative. I don't know. I like filming this kind of stuff because I talk about this constantly on my Instagram about my brand interactions, about things that bother me in the beauty community, but I don't really talk about it on YouTube. So feel free to follow me on Instagram if you do like more of this content. And yeah, I hope you liked something different. Sending you guys lots of love. Stay weird.